The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have a new episode of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina for you that is actually really fun.
Yes, really good episode.
I say actually as if like I don't love this show.
Right.
Like I was obsessed with this show. Like to the point where I was actually like a little heartbroken when they didn't bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was upset.
You were very upset.
I was upset. Because also when we get to the end, you'll see.
Yeah.
It's an end, but it's not an end. You know what I mean? For a comic book, it's not an end. You know?
Yeah. We'll talk about it. I'm sure I will hold my thoughts on how I thought about it till we get there.
You didn't like it. It's okay. We can be
No.
honest.
And I was like, this is a horrible ending. But it felt finale to me. But
It didn't feel finale to me.
we'll get there when we get there. For now, we are on a good run of episodes.
We are.
I like where we're at with all the characters. I like that we are officially... Sabrina's having to deal, like we did last time, deal with hell stuff while also trying to be normal at school, but everybody is in on it. I don't like the, it doesn't work for me as much in like comics and things where it's like, oh, they got to sneak around because like they don't know about what they're at, like their other part of their lives are. Like for comics, it's often secret identity, but if this is like her being a witch, that's all out in the open now. And so it's just trying to navigate everybody's lives. And I think everybody, for the most part, is at an interesting spot dealing with interesting conflicts. And I think that's what this show really does is it goes across the entire ensemble, exposing where their kind of weak points are, where the friction is, and then it seems like all of that is feeding into what the bad guys are doing this season. But it's really focused on that character drama and everybody's tensions.
It's really interesting because you would think in a show like this where you have less time, they would rush through and skip some of these side character storylines. And instead, it's more like spread out and really well, I feel like, done as an ensemble versus like Riverdale. So like
yes,
this show
way
feels,
more.
this show's obviously about Sabrina. It's The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. She's the titular character.
Yeah, whose name is in the title?
Yeah, like it does often feel like an ensemble show. Like you get whole scenes and blocks of time where you don't see Sabrina at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important. Whereas I feel like with Riverdale, which is more like supposed to be an ensemble, obviously, it feels like they pick a character to kind of be the main character of the week.
Yeah, and I think the difference between Riverdale and Sabrina is everybody's interacting on Sabrina.
Yes.
They're all inhabiting the same space of Greendale / the Academy, which is ostensibly Greendale too. Whereas Riverdale, everybody's kind of doing their own things, and you have no sense of like, as we've often said, how big is Riverdale? Because that's a good analogy for like, what is this space? We have no idea.
Well, Sabrina tells us in this episode. Sabrina says Riverdale is a big, scary place.
That's true.
And I said,
and it's fair.
So it's big.
And then we see on the sign that someone has graffitied murder capital of the world. And then also JJ was there, so.
JJ.
Jughead Jones.
Oh. I was wondering if it was, what was Blossom? What was Cheryl's?
Oh, Jason.
Jason. Didn't she call him JJ? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it was Jason from a while ago.
We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Jughead graffitiing the signs?
I don't know. Who knows what he does?
I guess where in the timeline? Do these even line up in the timeline? Another thing I wanted to talk about.
That's true.
Was the fact that I haven't seen, I don't think does anybody have a cell phone in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
It has been a while. I can't remember if any of the earlier seasons, if anybody has a cell phone.
I can't remember either. I don't feel like anyone.
For the most part, no.
Whereas in Riverdale, it's like it plays with this like back in time. Riverdale plays more in like the 1950s and yet like modern. Whereas this plays more in, I would say, like the 70s, 80s, like in that era.
I'd say like 60s, 70s.
Yeah, 60s, 70s. Like sometimes like a little bit of 80s, I feel like the camp of it. But maybe not.
Oh, sorry. I'm talking about like aesthetics.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of like the way the homes are made up. The technology.
Totally. And so I think that like it's interesting to see like I feel like Sabrina does a better job of giving you that unstuck in time feeling, whereas Riverdale does initially ground itself in time. Like it's like Jughead died on this day and it's the year 2017, you know, things like that. Whereas Greendale is not stuck in time.
Yeah.
Like it could be any year and we would have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know that the car has been invented.
Yes.
And we've got at least like specific models, but you know.
Television.
Exactly. But like it's mostly black and white. It's just interesting. Like I think it's a fun way to play with it.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because we see the horror movie that they're watching. Yeah.
And so I'm like, is there like what is the like? I guess why are there differences in this Archieverse? I mean, I like it. I like Sabrina's better.
Yeah.
I love the look of Riverdale, but like I'm like the cell phones ruin it. I just want to dream of a world without cell phones sometimes.
Well, but all their homes are modern.
Yes.
Whereas here you're getting a lot of
it's all old homes.
Exactly. Yeah, Sabrina, because I mean, obviously the witch's house all is this older home, kind of like with bay windows, with like vine, like you know, it's like worn paint,
which you could have done and still set in like a more modern setting because it would just be like, oh well, that's the mortuary and it's the witch's house.
Exactly. It just like matches with like
the whole town matches their house.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of other architecture you're really seeing that way. Whereas like Archie's house looks like a home that you would see in the 21st century.
Yes.
So, and then also Veronica at the Pembroke, like all those things.
But yeah, so Riverdale's a big, scary place.
That's right. Murder capital of the world. All right. Should we get into our cast this week?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this will be probably a little shorter segment, but we're just introducing some of our Carnival folk. If you look up on fandom and IMDb wiki, these people will have more specific names. I know for one of them, I think it's giving it not necessarily a reveal away.
You think it's a spoiler?
Exactly. Yeah. So I have gone with as far as we know these people as. So our fortune teller this week, Lucy Guest, kind of smaller. It has done a lot of credits. Like kind of a lot of TV work and TV movies that I don't personally know. I think it was 69 credits on IMDb as an actor, so doing a ton. So I at least looked up a few things that I'd kind of know. So there was that I could like at least pull in for this. Recently was in a streaming show on Hallmark series or the Hallmark streaming network called Holidazed.
Okay.
There's apparently a recent-ish Creep Show series that she was in an episode of, and then a couple other TV movies. Bridesmaid in Love, and A Romance to the Rescue.
All right.
Yeah. So I think part of that Hallmark
family.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least that type of film, like romance, like light romance film. And then as our snake charmer, Vanessa Rubio was recently has done 51 episodes of Cobra Kai as Carmen Diaz.
Okay.
So primary character there. Was in the Cinnamon Rose episode of Dolly Parton's Heartstrings, which is an 8-episode series where they take 8 of her songs and they bring them to life, quote unquote.
Like made like little short movies in them or shows. That's cute.
Yeah. So I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And then recently on Matlock. So getting credits that way too. But yeah, Cobra Kai. I'm assuming if people are watching Cobra Kai. I don't have I don't think I've actually ever seen The Karate Kid. So, at least not all the way through. So, you know, that's why I'm not watching.
Karate Kid all the way through?
No.
Even I've seen The Karate Kid all the way through.
I know enough about it through pop culture, but that's about it.
That's fair.
And then finally, Professor Carcosa, played by Will Svensson. Lots of theater credits. So just kind of pulling Wikipedia top line.
This man looks like he's in a Shakespeare production or like on Broadway. Do you know what I mean? Like you see this man and you're like, he's gonna Hugh Jackman. He's gonna song and dance.
Yep. Broadway and West End credits include principal roles in Hair.
Okay.
He was nominated for a Tony Award there.
Oh.
Les Mis, Waitress, Assassins, and A Beautiful Noise.
Okay.
Was also in The Greatest Showman. I find it funnily enough because of the way he kind of looks like if you squint, but he was in 2 small roles in Jason Bateman movies.
That's so funny.
I'm like, you know, if you kind of squint, maybe. Like in some of the scenes, I was like, you could see a resemblance to Jason Bateman when he's got long hair.
That's funny.
The 2 movies were The Switch and This Is Where I Leave You.
Okay.
But also the Wikipedia up top had noted it's like he has also developed a film career primarily in LDS cinema.
What does that mean?
So like LDS, the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Oh, he
like,
makes
movies.
Mormon movies?
Or at least has in the past. And it didn't seem like recently. So one of this, Sons of Provo, which was a movie that he co-wrote and was directed by him. And it's a mockumentary that portrays the experience of an LDS boy band named Everclean. That's a great name. From formation to resounding success. Oh my God, I had to pull that in.
So wait, is it like pro LDS film or like?
Yeah, it sounded like it.
That's interesting.
Uh-huh. But was also for your parents recently in an episode of Elsbeth.
Oh, my parents do love Elsbeth.
Yeah. Well, that's our cast for this week. And we will get into our episode, which is Chapter 23, Heavy as the Crown.
Or Nick's sad boy era.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
Gavin Leatherwood does such a good job of looking so particularly forlorn and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, oh, he makes me sad.
Yes.
He does a really good job.
Of just being off. You just know he's off.
Yeah, he's just off. There's just no spark.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because, okay, so what I did notice, though, in, like, scenes where it's, like, he's in the background or whatever, so he's got his arm around Sabrina and they're walking away, or, like, they're on the carousel, like, because I think they're just, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, cut in, like, scenes, and they're not, like, him. I'm sure they're acting, but he doesn't look, like, sad in those.
Oh, that's really funny.
He doesn't look like it doesn't stand out, but I was like, oh, he looks significantly less depressed on the carousel.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what is funny? For like him being in his like depressed era is like they dress him like James Dean.
Yeah, and they put him like his leather jacket's different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it got sharper edges to it. I feel. Yeah. Am I wrong or am I just like?
I think it is a different leather jacket.
Yeah.
And then he's got cuffed jeans.
Yeah, he's got cuffed jeans. He's given 80s.
Yeah. He's given James from Twin Peaks also. So the title of the episode's a misquote from Shakespeare's play, Henry IV, about everybody knows worries and responsibilities of a leader, but I didn't know it was actually pulled from Henry IV. In the 90s sitcom, for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Hilda mentioned that she used to write romance novels about herself using a magical typewriter. So plays into here. Very fun that way. And then the sex demons later in the episode that Nick engages with are named after Marquise de Sade and Pasolini's horror adaptation of the... Sorry. It is named after Marquise de Sade's characters within the unfinished novel 100 Days of Sodom.
Okay.
Which that is its own thing that you can go back and read on. But Marquise de Sade, a nobleman in France who is in prison for essentially not quite say it, like indecency, like putting out fiction, like now like talking about sex and very like open about these things.
Okay.
And so 100 Days of Sodom seems essentially provocative.
Okay.
Because it's all about these four noblemen that like coop up over 120 days to experience like the vastness of pleasure of both like the lightness of like, essentially quote unquote simple sex to like the darkness of like sacrifices and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a whole rabbit hole you can go down.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
Those crazy French people in the, what was it? 1785?
There you go.
Yep. And but looking into this, that's where the word sadism comes from. His fictional characters who take pleasure in inflicting pain on others.
That makes sense.
Yep. All right. So into the summary. Harvey and Roz watch a scary movie with Papa Kinkle. PK calls Harvey aside and embarrasses him by asking if he has protection. When Harvey
honestly, best parenting we've seen from Papa Kinkle.
Papa Kinkle has turned things around. He might be one of the best parents in the Archieverse.
You don't think Hilda and Zelda?
But I mean, yeah. I'm talking about the list.
Yeah.
If we're going off the list, we've got Hilda and Zelda. We've got, let's go back over to Riverdale. Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Kinkle.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about Alice, Hal, Hermione, Hiram, and then FP.
Mm-hmm. Well, but FP turns it around.
That's true. And then says,
So he's
boy,
the
you
Papa Kinkle of Riverdale.
Yeah.
But then he says, actually, you can't come with me.
You can't come with me to Toledo.
Toledo.
Yep.
I almost said Tulum. He's like, you are not coming
That's
on my
right.
vacation.
I'm going to Tulum. I'm going to be living there. I'm living it up. I'm going to be attending burner parties.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
FP rides his motorcycle to Tulum.
Yeah, exactly. And he gets all in on the Burning Man scene. Bunch of expats.
Isn't Tulum in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Burning Man in Tulum?
No, but I mean that's like where like those like Burning Man adjacent parties and things in other countries and things.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The only people, yeah. I mean, I know of people that have retired to Tulum, but like, I did not know that it was Burning Man adjacent.
The people will
Yeah.
go down. Yeah. I mean,
Not
I'm not saying
the whole city.
I'm saying there are gatherings and things.
I was unaware that there was that connection point.
Yeah. When Harvey comes back to Roz, she invites him to the new carnival in town. He says yes. Really, the A plot is everybody being like, "Are you going to the carnival?"
Mm-hmm.
Cut to Sabrina and Nick reconnecting before bed. Sabrina goes to sleep and we see Nick looking haunted. Cut to Nick waking in the middle of the night saying Lucifer was there, and Sabrina calms him down and says he's far away. She sees that he's growing extra toes, or that because I had misunderstood at first, but it's turning back from a hoof into a foot, and it's like he's got like twisted toes and things.
His malformation, as Ambrose calls it.
Ah, there you go. Sabrina calls Roz to ask her to cover for her at school. She plays hooky to spend it with Nick, and they agree to meet at the carnival later. Sabrina calls Nick in the shower that she's headed to breakfast, and we see him scrubbing, haunted by Lucifer inside of him. Really invoking, like, I mean, they make this like really plain later with Agatha and Dorcas, but like sexual assault survivor.
Mm-hmm.
At breakfast, Zelda asks Ambrose to teach at the academy, and he's like, "No, my trip has shown me I need to learn so much more." And she's like, "Well, then you'll be the new librarian." Because apparently Cassius is just slowly dying off screen.
Yeah, she's like, he's on his last leg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, little does she know the entire coven. It also seems she's catching a cold, and she's like, "How dare you? I've never been sick before."
Because witches aren't supposed to get sick. We learned that from Ambrose when Sabrina was like, should I become a witch or not?
Oh, right. He does say that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sabrina and Nick go to leave, and she lies about them going to the academy later. Sabrina tells Nick that they're going to go play hooky when Lilith appears before Sabrina because she's needed in court. Sabrina then has to tell Nick that she's queen of hell now, and Lilith says, "Everyone is expecting to hear your reformation plans." And Nick is like, go to hell. Take care of this, and we'll meet at the academy later. Sabrina demands to review all the souls in hell and all contracts with mortals before they can be collected upon. Caliban then comes in and challenges her for a seat, and he went and started a petition on hellchange.org and got 666 signatures.
No, he has a scroll.
Well, and it's yes. And this is a fantasy where these do invoked actual change, do have legal power to invoke change. I'm not saying that petitions on change.org don't have the power to affect change. I'm just saying this is literally like, well, damn, he got enough signatures, so I have to follow this. Not like, please, Congressman, will you do something? He challenges her on a quest for the unholy regalia, are relics that have been lost for ages. Apparently, there's a legend that whoever finds all of them can take the throne, whether they're Morning Star or not. So the challenge really isn't necessary. He probably should have just quietly collected all of these on his own. But he's a man who likes a show, and he wants to challenge her. The first challenge is King Herod's crown. Later, Sabrina wonders if the quest is rigged, and apparently even Lucifer doesn't know where the regalia is. Zelda asks Prudence to be the student prefect to help with teaching, and she's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" She's like, "A lot of administrative work."
You're actually just going to be working and teaching.
And a little bit of teaching. They get summoned by Melvin and find a dead body on the floor, a dead warlock on the floor. He tried to fly, but apparently lost control, and he had used to be able to fly, so he's lost. You get the idea that everybody's losing their powers. Elspeth also is getting sick, and Zelda, Hilda, Prudence, and Ambrose want to figure out what's happening, and they think it's a curse on their coven. Mrs. Meeks, who works at the school, shows Mrs. Wardwell a flyer for the carnival and asks if she's going. Theo tells Harvey he's going to ask Robin to go with him to the carnival, and Harvey's like, "Hey, that's great. His hair is so cool."
He delivers that like a puppy. It's so believable.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh my God, yeah, he's got that green in his hair."
Yes.
I don't know how you deliver a character this earnestly.
He Ross Lynch is doing it.
He
does it great.
I've never been that earnest a day in my life. I'm not that nice, I guess.
I just love the reaction.
I'm like, I was like, man, I wish I could approach life that way. How simply, like beautifully, like simple in a good way, not like how simple.
No, exactly.
How like beautiful to just be like, yeah, wow, that's so cool.
And immediately naming, oh, I like his hair.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, there's
fake.
something I like about this person.
Yeah.
Theo wants advice, says he's never asked someone out before. And Harvey's like, well, what you can do is ask him to come with us all as a group. It'll be a little easier for you to do that. And we'll all just kind of peel away. And Theo's like, yeah, that's less scary. And Harvey's like, well, I'm a little nervous because I think Roz wants to have sex. And since I haven't had sex, like, I'm very nervous about this. And then Roz comes in and they're all awkward.
Yeah, they couldn't just be like, oh, Theo's inviting Robin.
Yep.
These people are awful at lying, which is another, because they're earnest.
Exactly. Sabrina tells Ambrose that she's the queen of hell and looks for his help finding King Herod's crown. Ambrose is excited to help as Nick comes in and escorts her away to lunch. Zelda comes to class and finds the entire class reading a witch romance novel called Buxom and the Beast. And then on the cover, it looks like Hilda and Nick. That's kind of the likenesses, I think.
That's so funny.
She notices the author's name and realizes Hilda must be the author.
Are you sure it's not Mr. C that it's supposed to look like?
The fandom had said Nick. Well, I'll have to double check that. But I noticed right off the bat that it looked exactly like Hilda.
Yeah, they did that one. But I was like...
we see her reading to the children. Hilda just reading smut to the children. We love it. What is it? Because even Zelda calls it when she's reading the back of the summary, it calls it a bodice ripper.
Yeah,
it's great. And I was looking up when this comes out in January 2020, so it was written before that, before like the height of book talk too. So they had their finger on the pulse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so romance novels have always been like the thing that like really like financially supports the book industry. I don't know like the numbers on this. That's just what I've seen online. I could be very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I understand, it's like that's what sells. Like that's what do you see in the grocery store?
Right.
Romance paperbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think it's we don't respect it because it's for women. It's similar like
Yes.
Hallmark. Hallmark is basically that, but movies, and it's like they're very successful.
Right.
So respect.
Totally respect out there. Apparently Dr. C helped Hilda get her book published. Zelda tries to get her in line, but Hilda stops her and insists she's going to do her own thing. I don't want the Academy. The Academy's your dream, not mine.
Zelda says to Hilda that she has a duty to the Academy or whatever, or the family, and Hilda goes, because it's Helga on the book.
Yeah.
Hilda goes, I have a duty to myself to be happy.
So good.
I love that. I wrote that down. I said, yeah.
Zelda does not take this well at all.
No.
Theo invites Robin to the carnival, and Robin says yes. Harvey finds Roz laughing along with the cheerleaders and football players, and he does the like awkward thing like, hey, what's going on, guys? They invite the football players and cheerleaders invite Roz to join them at the carnival, but Roz's like, oh, I'm going with friends. And as they walk away, Harvey's like, friends? Just friends now? And she's like, aren't we going with friends, Harvey? And he's like, oh, well, yeah. And then just agrees there.
It's like, when you have like an argument with someone because it's like semantically they decided something else.
Mm-hmm. And this is totally like, I'm feeling weird and nervous and upset, and like I'm feeling weird about like where a relationship's at because I'm nervous about potentially having sex. And then there's also these like other football players around you, and they're the cool kids that you're like getting ingratiated with. So like I'm upset, but not at all about what we're talking about right now.
Can I tell the story of you being mad that I didn't know what your job was?
Oh, sure.
So when Brenton and we maybe been dating for like a year or two. I don't know. It was fairly early on. I don't even know if I was working yet. Like, I mean, I worked, but like not at a corporate job.
Yeah, so maybe not even a year.
I think I might have still been in college or I just graduated. Anyway, Brenton and I were talking about his job, and I was like, maybe I had just, it doesn't matter. But I was like, I don't really know like what you do. Like, I don't know what your job is. And he's like, you don't know my job? Like what I like. And he's like, and he got so upset. And I was like, I know your job title. I'm asking like what you do on like, you don't talk about what you do on a day-to-day basis. Like, what is it that you do at your marketing job as an entry-level marketing employee? And then we had to walk it back a little.
Yeah, totally.
Because you were like, you don't know my job? Like, you don't even listen. And I was like, I literally know your job title, your salary, like I know your social security number. I was just no, I didn't know your social security number then, but
Oh, yeah. In this case, I should have taken a deep breath and just driven on the ride home because I was just grumpy from being at work all day.
or been like, what do you mean? Like if you were like, I might get mad about this, but I'm not certain. Like what?
Right.
Like what do you mean? We all misinterpret people sometimes, but that's what this scene made me think of because it's just like that, where it's like okay,
right. We're not talking about the same thing.
We're not having the same conversation. You're having big feelings.
Agatha and Dorcas join Sabrina and Nick for lunch, and they taunt him over like having Lucifer inside him and make a bunch of jokes about him getting assaulted.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah. He gets upset and throws his tray and walks away. Sabrina goes after him, and Ambrose stops her, and he's like, whoa, I found where King Herod's crown would be. We find out that Ambrose found like there was a trail of when the crown was found that passed to a bunch of different people in like the witch community, and the last person that had it was in Riverdale and was murdered, and his name was Benjamin Blossom. The crown was never found,
which tells us something about a certain family.
That's right,
because that was a warlock, right?
Yes, I think so. Check on that. And then the crown was never found, and Ambrose pulls out an immoral compass to find magical items. The two head off to Riverdale. And then we already mentioned the town sign, and the compass leads them to a tree where they think they hid the crown, like inside of it. Nick drinks his sorrow away at Dorian's, and Dorian taunts Nick, says he's known a few people who've had the Dark Lord inside them, and they sometimes reach a new level of pain where it becomes pleasure. Hey, you know that all that stuff I was talking about with Hellraiser? And the Acheron the Lament configuration, aka the Acheron configuration, well, they're just bringing it in wholesale here. And Dorian offers to summon playmates for Nick, and Nick declines and leaves. Ambrose pulls the crown out of the tree and asks to keep it for a few hours to see if he can harvest his energies to help the coven. Sabrina, nothing's gonna go wrong. Sabrina reluctantly agrees to him holding it until after the carnival. After they leave, we see a man emerge from the tree like he's an Uruk-hai from The Lord of the Rings. We're all covered in grime and filth. You know what I'm talking about? Where they like bring out the things coming out, the Uruk-hai out of the ground? Yeah. Sabrina goes to the academy and can't find Nick, and Melvin points her to the desecrated church. Sabrina sees he was looking at a book on amputations, so she runs there and finds him trying to saw his foot off, and he's like, I can't even draw blood from it. Nick says he can still feel Lucifer inside of him, and Sabrina lays it out clearly for us that he might be suffering PTSD. Nick stops himself and apologizes to her. Ambrose messes with the crown and thinks it's the answer to the coven's prayers as the Gooby Man comes downstairs. Ambrose smells maple syrup. It is very good that this is maple syrup. It's a maple tree. As the man approaches, but it's too late. He grabs Ambrose by the neck. The man went to sleep with the crown, and by taking it, they disturbed his slumber. He casts a spell and puts Ambrose to sleep. He asks the crown who awoke him, and the crown says, Sabrina. And he even kind of does like a My Precious thing, looking at the crown here. He squishes the crown onto his head, and a bunch of goop spills out. Carnival time. Professor Carcosa is like a carnival barker up front and introduces everybody to the carnival. And then Roz sees through his glamour and sees that he's a satyr. Interesting. Sabrina and Nick arrive. And
Does she tell anybody?
She just kind of goes like, I think I saw something weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Roz.
There's a lot of communications issues in this episode, and a lot of people are doing it because they're having big feelings and can't quite get it out, like we just mentioned. Roz is just like, I'm sure it's fine.
I'm like, maybe tell Sabrina?
Right, anybody. Sabrina and Nick arrive, and Nick immediately gets in Harvey's face. He's like, I am doing fine, Kinkle. And Harvey's just like, hey, how's it going?
What happens when another dog approaches Herman? Herman is, yeah. Except Herman does not have, well, he does have past trauma, but not that kind.
Yeah, and he got shot with a BB and lived on the streets.
Herman's got a BB in his chest. He's got shrapnel.
Hilda and Dr. C walk around the carnival, and she complains about Zelda. Hilda talks about the life she wants, like living in a cottage with her spiders, and having a cup of tea and sewing. And then Dr. C says he wants the same thing and gets down on one knee to propose to her, and Hilda says yes. Professor Carcosa invites Harvey to test his virility by hitting the hammer on the strong game, and he's like, he's like all nervous, and then turns to Roz like, well, it's just like swinging a pickaxe, which we would think he would actually probably be better than Billy at this, but it comes up short. So that's why I think it's maybe magic at play.
Oh no, it's magic at play.
Yeah, and then Billy's like, hey, let me try it, and it tries his best and wins the top prize. As Roz talks to the other cheerleaders, Harvey stomps away. Miss Wardwell goes to get her palm read. She asks what's happened to Adam, and the fortune teller is like, he's gone forever, but you know this because you were there. Wardwell's like, well, I don't remember. And then the reader says, did you consummate your love with Adam? No, you didn't. Then Wardwell gets offended and leaves. Theo and Robin ride the merry-go-round. Merry-go-round. What am I talking about? Ferris wheel. I wrote down merry-go-round. That'd be funnier. Robin goes to shyly kiss when Theo's like, wait, I need to tell you, and tells him he's trans. And then Robin's like, that's okay. You're Theo now, and I really like you. They then kiss. Harvey walks alone and finds a dance show. It's like with Snake Charmer, but, more kind of get the vibe that's supposed to be like a seductive dance sort of thing. And sees his dad in the crowd and kind of gets entranced by the dancer. And then Roz comes up behind him and is like, hey, where'd you go? Why'd you leave? And then he walks away quickly with her. The Goop Man arrives at the carnival and trails Sabrina and Nick. Nick tells Sabrina her dad got everything he wanted and her ruling hell, and a part of you must like being queen of hell. She asks him, like, hey, we haven't talked about it, but how was it holding the devil inside you? And he's like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's just ride the tunnel of love. We then get an exterior shot of the tunnel of love, and they run out as the Goop Man attacks them both. They engage in magical combat, and Nick knocks the crown off him, and then Caliban appears, and he's like, ha-ha, then disappears. We learn the Goop Man is King Herod, and he threatens to flay Sabrina and Nick alive. Ambrose appears behind them and makes him explode all over Nick and Sabrina. Nick later asks Sabrina about who Caliban is, and Sabrina's like, oh, we can talk about him later. He's like made of clay from hell or something like that. Nick says he's going back to the academy and wants his own bed until things are back to normal. Sabrina notices it's the first time he called her Spellman since he's been back and is happy by this. Nick goes to Dorian's and worries that Sabrina has a new suitor, and he tells Dorian he wants the playmates he offered before, one of each. And then we see Nick in a chair as two Harlequins approach, or sex demons. They kind of look like made up like Harlequins, and then ask him what his pleasure is, and he says pain. Mrs. Wardwell sits at home, worried about what happened to her and Adam. We see Caliban wearing the crown of Herod in hell, and Sabrina comes in and slaps him for not helping her. He says he was watching Sabrina the entire time, waiting to strike, and then she slaps him again for not saving her and Nick, and promises to win the next round and that she'll never give up the throne. The carnival workers point out all the weaknesses of our characters, and we see Robin is one of the carnival workers. No, betrayal. Professor Carcosa is worried about Roz posing a threat to them, and then the snake charmer is like, let me handle her. They plant something in the ground and then sacrifice a man to it. Kind of looks like a little plant. And then they pray to the gods of old, and they say, let the green one be reborn. The end.
Okay, so the carnies are preying on our friends' insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Wardwell is like, oh my God, I'm not remembering things. And also like,
Did I kill someone?
Did I kill somebody?
She is in her own
horror movie.
Yeah, but like modern fiction. Like girl from the what was it? Girl from the train or whatever.
Girl on the train,
whatever that was. Or like a Gone Girl. She's in her own like a modern fiction thriller.
Yeah, and then you've got Harvey, who is just feeling a little out of sorts and almost emasculated, and just like, I don't know what I'm doing next, and just feels very weird.
Yeah, he specifically going through it with how do I go about being vulnerable around sexuality?
Mm-hmm.
And like, do I have to be the big, strong, cool guy like how Billy is? But the best part about it is that Billy is in no way a threat. Billy's just kind of a nice guy now.
Yeah.
So like when he's doing things, he's not intentionally excluding Harvey. It's all Harvey's insecurities.
Yeah.
Like Billy is just kind of like playfully gesturing to like, oh yeah, like watch me do this. He's not being like, there's no competition there, but Harvey is like
creating a competition.
Yeah, just because he feels so insecure about himself.
It's very girl on girl hate crime vibes, but on Harvey's side.
Exactly, yeah. And then of course making it worse for him and Roz. And I think there's something there of like escaping away to we sees the snake charmer too, of like sexuality like presented to him, where it's
Mhm.
like he doesn't have to be vulnerable around that to like experience the feelings he has, like of like being horny or something like that, or around sexuality and pleasure.
Totally.
That's like a gateway to like not have to be vulnerable one-on-one with someone.
What I think is really interesting is so with Harvey and Wardwell, they make them feel shame or fear and insecure.
Yeah.
But with Robin and Theo, Robin makes Theo feel good.
Yeah.
And so we know that one's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm. But like, you know, does Robin not feel that way? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Poor Theo.
It's
Because they
sad.
are like they are really cute.
They're really cute. They're really cute. Also, I realized I left my sewing project behind us, so it looks like I was just ironing. And
That's
there's
our little surfboard.
also a fly swatter. We really should like put some effort into cleaning up behind us.
We
before
did.
do
There's a
it.
picture on the wall. It is really funny just seeing the little
Yeah,
ironing board
I
back
caught it
there.
in, and I was like, oh, that looks silly. Anyway, so
So she sews. Get over it.
let's talk about Sabrina and Caliban and the quest for the unholy regalia. Did we talk about Herod?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not bring up King Herod. I
King
mean, other than his
Herod
name.
is the king in the Bible. There's many other like historical things, but in the Bible, in the Gospel of Matthew, King Herod is the king who ruled on or had the massacre of the innocents, which is basically when someone told him that, hey, there's a child that's born or going to be born that's going to like be an usurper, and that's the right word, yeah.
Mhm.
And my brain was like, that's wrong, and take the throne from you. And so when he couldn't get Jesus and couldn't find Jesus, he then had every boy under 2 killed in Bethlehem.
Yeah, so that's the flaying and things they're talking about there.
Yeah, so it's a lot of dead babies. And the art around this is really traumatizing, and that's what I remember seeing as a child, so that's why I've always known who King Herod was.
And not to be confused with his son who executed John the Baptist and Jesus.
Well, you know, family history and all.
It runs in the family.
So, yeah, bad vibes all around. It
Mhm.
would make sense that he would be in a tree in Riverdale to me. That fits with the vibe.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Betty would. I'm surprised Betty didn't find him first, to be honest.
He's the maple man.
Exactly.
The maple man's on the loose.
But so I just wanted to give that little note
Yeah.
there.
And I didn't put it in the summary, but for people who didn't watch, when the crown moves from person to person, it's like it awakens King Herod to then be like a specter to come after them. So that's what we assume happened to Benjamin Blossom, is that the King Herod killed him, took a crown back, went to sleep.
So I think the thing I want to talk about in this episode, like the heavy is the crown of it all. It's like the idea of like the weight of managing your own life, and like heavy is the responsibility of like having to take ownership of the situations you put yourself in. So like that can go anywhere from like Harvey managing his weird feelings about Roz having more experience than him, or Nick managing the weird feelings about he sacrificed himself for this, and so like now what does he do,
Mhm.
and how does he feel? And then Sabrina
And being a survivor of assault and abuse.
And then Sabrina trying to navigate this like normal life versus hell versus Nick, and like what's important to her and how to keep everything balanced, and like wanting to blend Nick back into her normal life, but like he's traumatized and like she doesn't have the time and space to like help him.
Yeah, right. Because she's being brought all over the place.
And then Hilda and her desire to help and protect the kids versus her desire to do something for herself in her own life, and her desire, her also like responsibility. I think it also it's the responsibility aspect that really plays into it. Like there's for her and Sabrina, it's like the responsibility to the family.
Yeah, right. And in her case too, she said quoted responsibility to be happy. It's like getting out from under Zelda. Yeah. Instead of just letting that be passive aggressive and simmer.
And even Zelda with like she wants to be the high priestess and in charge of the Church of Night and in charge of this school, but then at the same time, like, there's this huge responsibility to it, and like the like them having to deal with what they've done, like the powers of the coven, like what, like they've put themselves in the situation and now they have to figure it out.
Yeah, she has to, like, as Ambrose goes, oh, the coven is saved. They have to. She pulled out the power structure from them, like quite literally, like their life force by switching away from Lucifer. It is not the same under Lilith, and I do wonder also. It's like, is the instabilities with Sabrina causing this by Lilith not being the queen of hell and in charge? Does that play a role in the coven praying to Lilith and maybe Lilith's powers not being as great to help the coven?
I remember, so I'm keeping
Oh,
my mouth
okay.
I was like,
am I off base or am I? But yeah,
but no,
we'll
it's a good theory. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were like, you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
No.
That's potentially plausibly a
yeah.
thing
No, I
on.
totally agree. I just was like, no, I remember exactly how this plays out.
So you're like, I can't respond.
Yeah, I'm like, actually,
yes. But yeah, now that she's got so many people to take care of now.
Totally. But I think that, is there anything else in this you really want to talk about? There's things I wanted to talk about, but you won't let me because we can't reveal the names.
Yeah.
So we'll save that for next week or whenever they reveal the names.
Let's see. Things to, the Hilda Bodice Ripper stuff is very fun. It is because, like you said, the condensed series, we don't get like this long thing of Hilda and Dr. C's courtship. It's kind of all happening off screen, but I think it still works really well because every time they're on screen, they seem very like together and lived in, like their relationship.
Yeah, they're very stable adults.
Yeah. In a series and show that often doesn't have that. And then it'll be interesting to see how it plays out too. That I have making the Nick and Lucifer's time, like specifically about like rape and assault. I mean, we're kind of getting a little bit that, and I think at least him suffering PTSD from it isn't a fair representation of like what people go through like after incidents like this. But I'm interested to see kind of how that develops again.
There's more to this too that plays out later.
Yeah,
there's a little bit more to it. Then I'm interested to see like what we think of as we go through it this time. Yeah,
because I had conflated a couple things, so I don't quite remember where this all wraps up. From like last season, where he's also at Dorian's.
Yes.
I think that's probably it.
Cool. I think it was a really good episode.
Oh yeah, I had a great time with these. Yeah, like I said, I love where all the characters at, and I love this is a focus on our ensemble's frictions as characters, and then also wrapped up in a nice story where everybody's kind of still like bouncing off one another. Hey, you could do that.
See, and they could do it with so few episodes. Imagine what they could do with so many episodes in Riverdale, but they don't.
I know. Yeah.
The writing just continually goes downhill in Riverdale, I feel.
Yeah, and I think the thing, because there is two wolves inside of me. There's a lot of those you see now. It's like, damn, we used to make like real television shows that were like, 22 episodes a season. Yeah, like Riverdale does, but it's like, yeah, but like Riverdale doesn't quite utilize that to the best either.
You can't use that as an example though, because that was battling kind of with this era.
It's way different storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that like I think it's easier to compare Riverdale and Pretty Little Liars because it's a similar storytelling device. I think that.
Now they filled their stuff to the gills.
Pretty Little Liars was stuffed. I think that to me, like a good 22 episode show is like a Gilmore Girls, like a show that actually was like I think that there weren't a lot of episodes that felt like they weren't driving the plot, even though each episode still felt like it could stand alone.
Yeah, I exactly. We are missing those kind of like, oh, we're not going to move much forward this week, but we are going to get an episode on this ensemble character as they go do this sort of thing or whatnot.
Totally. I think with Gilmore Girls, you could watch any episode any day and like still kind of know what's going on in the show.
Yeah.
And I don't think that these shows have that. You cannot start Riverdale in the middle of a season and be like, I know what's going on.
I think it's season 4 where Lorelai, they're trying to get the inn going and she's having money troubles, but it's never really a big focal point on screen until eventually it like the plot runs
gets an
into
episode.
it.
Yeah.
So like you could pick up those shows and kind of be like, oh, there's something going on in the background here. And it's like over way like 10 episodes until it's eventually like brought up as a plot point.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, that's it for this week then.
Well then.
You can find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube at dead_ends. You can also find us on Blue Sky, Dead-Ends, and Instagram, deadendspcast. You can also leave comments on our YouTube, talk to us. We love interacting with people on there. You can also send us emails for anything at deadendspcast@gmail.com. Our podcast art is done by Senki R, and you can find a link to their Kara and portfolio in all our podcast descriptions.
Well, not today, Satan.
Not today.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm busy. I got something.
You got something
Or
tomorrow?
maybe Tuesday would be better.
I
got a few things work schedule wise up in the morning, but like after that, maybe afternoon. So let's just call it Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Wednesday doesn't really work for me.
Okay.
Next Friday?
We'll do a rain check.
Yeah.
We'll do rain. We are going to get together though. We are going to see you. We're not going to let all these months go by like we've done before, where we always make these plans. This time we're totally going to get it. It's totally going to happen.
We're going to have dinner with Satan.
That's right.
Instead of my dinner with all
Yes. I'll never forget our dinner with Satan. We love you so much.
Okay, love you. Bye.